start this video off, I'm going to tell you about my new sponsors. This is TTMI, Partners in Machinery. These guys are where I purchased my Argo, and they're now sponsors of this channel. So if you need to get into all these Argo bits and pieces, or you've got farming machinery, go and see those guys. They're a good lot. I know them personally. Well, we're back, and it's a super windy day, and we're in the field. Today I'm going to fit a jerry can holder to this. Part of my recent sponsorship with TTMI Machinery. They gave me a jerry can holder and a spare wheel holder. Now I don't have a spare wheel. I'm not going to fit the holder just yet, but the jerry can holder will be useful this trip. I haven't had time to fit it until I've been in the field, so we're going to do it now. But I've got to get this tarp off in between rainstorms. There's little patches of rain blowing over. So it's going to be fun to see if I can get all the pieces out. But let's get them out, get them laid out, and have a look at how it's done. Alright, so again we're still battling the wind, but we've got our pieces out. So this is our bracket that mounts up on the tub here, and this little bracket here goes along and mounts onto the bottom there, onto two of the existing toe bolts there. It is really windy and I'm trying not to have stuff blow away. So they included some straps with this to hold things down. There's some plugs to go in the end of the tubes, I guess. There's a bunch of bolts. There's a couple of springs. I'm not sure what the springs are all about, but I'm going to read the instructions in a bit and see what that all involves. I think it involves drilling a couple of holes through the tub here. I've got all that gear on board if I need it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. You can definitely tell this is from America because it's a gas can carrier. You know, we don't carry gas in cans, we carry it in gas cylinders because it's under pressure. So yeah, we'll see how we go. But I'm going to have a bit of a read and we'll get started. Alright, so we're fighting the rain. It has rained like 3 times since the last clip. So, first thing they say to do is to take the 2 left bolts out of here and put that in its place. Now I have some sealant that I think I should probably put in there, but for the moment we're going to find a long socket that fits it. See if we've got one that does. It feels a smidgen big. I'll have to pull this pin out of the way. Right. Oh, that's about right. I'm going to use a rattle gun for this because I'm lazy. And yes, I think I will put a touch of sealant in that. Alright, now we'll get this. Yeah, I'm going to get my sealant and we'll be right back. Alright, so we have some oil resistant gasket maker here. Just going to smear a little bit of that onto the threads to try and help this seal a little better. Wow, it is super windy here. I'm hoping the wind filter works. Well, this could be some pretty bad audio. Now we'll whack you through there. Whack that one in there. And give this a bit of a... Now they say not to tighten it up fully here. I'm guessing because we need to wriggle things around. And I guess when you're using poly tubs, not everything lines up all the time exactly the same way. Alright, that's on. Now this bit, we're going to position that up here somewhere. And we're going to put our bolts through. Right, if they haven't blown away yet. So I'm guessing they're those 2 and a couple of nylocks are the ones that go through. There are a couple of giant washers here. I guess we'll find out what they're for in a minute. Put you through. loosely align that one. Put this one in. Alright. Now, through here's where we've got to drill these holes. And that's why we have it all loosely, so we position roughly where we want it to be. Get it aligned. I'm going to tighten these up at this point. It probably doesn't suggest you do it at this point, but that's what I'm doing. Right, that's quite firm there. That hitches on firmly. Put our pin back in before I forget and drop my outboard on the ground. Alright. Now, I've got to put a couple of springs in here in a minute, which I won't pull that out just yet. Now they call for 3/8 holes. I'm going to have to go with a metric equivalent. And I appear to have trapped my GoPro mount here, so we're going to cut this off. Because I can use my mag base on this once it's on, so we don't need that anymore. Alright, I think we're going to drill through that siding as well. So I'm going to go find a metric equivalent to that drill bit, and we'll drill a hole through it. Right, I'm changing camera angle a bit. I found a 10mm drill bit, which looks to be, it's the biggest drill bit I've got, and it looks to be about a perfect fit with a little bit of slack, so that'll be what we've got. Yeah, I'm going to lean on this when I do it, so I've got it in a nice position. Oh, this feels wrong every time I drill through this tub. What I might do is I might put the first bolt through, and then see what we need to do with the rest of it. Alright, these guys have got a smooth shaft section on them, so we'll drop that one in there, and then we'll do the next one. We'll put through that way. We'll drill that out now. Alright, so I had to stop recording there for a sec. Let's get our next hole. And always a phone call in the middle of this. Okay, that can go away. Yeah. I'm doing little pulses so I don't accidentally break something or do unnecessary damage. That's on quite sturdy. We've got our 2 nylocks to go underneath. And I think the smooth shaft section here is designed just to stop it rattling around a bit. Yeah, I'll get a spanner and I'll get the rattle gun onto these guys in a minute. There might have been a bit of water through the tub there if that bolt is a bit wet. But it's hard to tell when everything is raining. Alright, we've got tube ends and stuff. We'll work on that in a minute. I need to find an appropriate spanner, and I need to get the rattle gun onto those nylocks. So get this guy back in here and find our spanner set. Alright, so coming out of America, I'm assuming these are Imperial, or actually Canada, which you would think would use metric, but I'm using a 9/16 ring on here. I'm going to do this from the bottom for a couple of good reasons. The drive in this, I put a 14mm on this, which is a smidgen on the tight side, so that may get stuck, and it's very easy to get it off from the top. It's difficult from the bottom. Well, that feels very tight. Okay. Yeah, and there's definitely water coming out from between the tub, or it might be built up underneath that. That little rubber buffer on the edge. There is probably a proper name for it. I think you call them gunnels. But anyway, I'm not up with boat terminology. All right. that is on quite firmly. Now we've just got to do these guys. Oh, change my camera angle a bit. It's hard to guess when the camera's on your head and you can't see the viewfinder. Let's try this guy. Alright. Yep, well, that one's certainly tight. Let's try this guy. Going to be interesting to see how these go after a bit of brackish water, but I guess I'll just have to keep things clean. Alright, that is on very firmly now. That pulls off because that's got a spring fitting on it. That might almost fit my trolling battery, you know. I really reckon. So not sure how these springs are supposed to fit in here, but okay, so they've got I need rivets. They've got pop rivets, big long ones. A bolt would have been really nice, even a 3mm nut and bolt. So that's interesting. I'll have a think. I may have enough bits and pieces to do this. So we've got a few of these rivets. So 4 of them to be exact, so I'm guessing they expect me to use a rivet on both ends to hold the spring in, and indeed there's a hole up that end. So okay, so that's going to be a little tricky to figure out how to get them springs in there. That's probably not how I would have handled this part of the design. If I'm going to put a battery up there, I don't really want this sprung. I'd rather it fixed in position. So what I might end up actually doing is drilling a couple of holes through here myself and putting a pin in there so it's in the right position. Yeah. This seems to be difficult to get into position there. There is a slight alignment issue with it. So I'll rip out the rest of these zip ties at a later date. Yeah, they're not coming out right now. Alright, that spring is the difficult bit to do in the field. I might do that off camera because it's a bit of a challenge, and I'll tell you how I did it once I'm done. So we'll be back in a minute. Alright, so I don't have a rivet gun with me, and I better pack up some of these nuts and bolts before it blows away. So I'm going to save these prop rivets for later. This is a bit of the project I reckon could have been done pretty easily from the factory. Anyway, I found a piece of stainless lock wire I was using as a threading needle. I've cut it into 2. I can wrap that around the end to pull them through, which I'm going to attach a bit of that right now. And I'll probably just leave it in the tube and cut it off because I will use that again in the future. So we'll do that to both our ones so we can retrieve the end of our string and get some tension on it. Do that. Where are we? Just trying to get this nicely twisted up. Lock wire is good for this. I can grab that with a pair of pliers. Now I found usually if I've got 3 bolts I have 4 of the same length, but I actually today only have 3 like this. So I'm going to use a 3mm with a nylock at the very end. And you know what, I've actually got 2 of those, so I might just even it out that way. These are the biggest ones and least likely to fit with the bloody bolt, so let's drop you guys through. I got it first shot, that's awesome. Right, so I'll do that up. I just want to get this serviceable today, and yeah, when I get back home I'll do the rest of this properly. But yeah, it's the first time I've seen a kit that requires a pop rivet gun. But I guess that's how they make them. And I guess this is a cost-saving measure. You're sort of less labour, I guess, but still a little frustrating sometimes. Yeah, I'll do them up properly with a spanner and a screwdriver once they're installed. It's too blustery out here to do the rest of it. Alright, get our wire mostly straight, poke them through the holes, push it through, rattle that in. Alright, now we're going to use pliers and we're going to drop our 3mm in here. And I've got another nut on there as well, but oh, that's right, and these are Torx drive. Lucky I have one of them on my pocket knife at least. Well, the 3mm nut doesn't fall through the mesh, that's the nice bit of news. Alright, let's get some pliers happening here and drop this guy through the loop. Feels like I got that one first try. We'll put our nut on just a little bit, just so we don't lose it, because in this wind it can blow away. The tarp is in the way as well. Wow, this is fiddly. 3mm was probably not my best choice, and I'm sorry if you can't see it. I'm trying my best just to keep my shirt from flying up. It is super windy right now, and yeah, I think I've got more rain coming very soon, and I've got a bit of packing up to do, so I want to be fairly quick about this. Where's that spring loop? Can I see it in here? There it is. Alright, that got it. Yeah, and I'll just trim that wire off. I might even leave it on them for the time being and wrap it up somewhere, because I do intend to disassemble this again. But it's sprung, so that's good. Alright, I'll tighten these up. I'm going to pack up some stuff and then we'll do a bit more video. Alright, so we're just about done here. I'm just tucking the lock wire into the end of the tubes here. This is all sprung and springs back in nicely, and it's on quite firmly. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to test it with a full-size jerry can first, and then we might see how it goes with that trolling battery. Oh. Alright, let's take a full-size jerry. It's going to hold that nicely. Right, and we've got some tie-down straps. Well, actually that might be handy, because actually that will be very handy. I just realised the implications of doing that. I'm curious to see if I can fit my battery in there too, because that'd mean less tripping over the battery. Alright, so we'll rip this guy off and then see if the battery fits in. Alright, I'm going to have to pull the tarp back to do that. Give me a moment. When we go in places, the Argo gets used as auxiliary trailer space too, so we have a bit of junk in here. Now, the battery is strapped down to the floor pan here. This guy is not a light battery. This is about 35 or 40 kilos worth. Now, let's see if it fits. Alright. Oh, beautiful. That is going to fit nicely. Awesome. That then means I've got a whole bunch more space in the back. And if that battery is offset to one side a little bit, it means I might almost get away with sitting on that side, although I'm like 140 kilo, but I guess we'll see what happens. Well, I am going to leave that battery up there, and I'm going to strap it down, much like I like to do with my wife, or rather she likes me to do with her. But you didn't hear that. She'll shoot me if she hears that comment publicly. Alright, let's move on here. We've got our strap. I guess we go through that loop here, and then we come up and over, back through it again. Oh, this is a good grippy strap. I think this is going to do the job nicely. So we want our cam lock. I've done this the wrong way around. So, because we want the cam lock on the top and under the handle. So let's rip this through that way. Put our cam up there, which feels like a plastic one, but Let's see how we go here. Let's do this. I guess this will mean, oh geez, this wind is something else. Yeah, we'll move our cam out from under that handle a bit. Now we pull you up and thread under. This is probably not the style of cam I would have used, but I guess it works. It's what we have. Alright. Do that. Oh, this is one where you just lock it down. Okay, so we'll have to get that nice and tight to suit our needs. Okay, we are getting out of hand here. It is actually quite cold. We've got some Antarctic weather coming over, and I'm losing my dexterity a little bit here. I'm also well overdue for a meal. So let's just lock that down like that for now. Somebody's got a chainsaw. And I think what we might do for now is we will take this extra strap and tie it off the side here somewhere. Alright. I might just wrap it around and whack a zip tie around it. And that'll do it. That stops it bouncing out. Alright, that is actually kind of nice. I like that. It's going to hold that in there. I reckon I can probably... I'll wedge something in there to stop it flapping around too much, or I've got some other straps. I can probably strap that down much tighter around that way. Yeah, alright, I'll do that. But that's our jerry can holder with a battery in it, but not too bad. And I will remember to put the bung plugs in before I drive in the water. I'm leaving them out in case it gets full of rain. With all this wind and rain, it's blowing in underneath. So, windy day, but I got it done, and yeah, it's going to hold it. When I do my beach run that I'm planning, that'll be very handy for the extended fuel. Alright, I'm going to call it quits. I hope it was an interesting one, probably a quick one. This is going to take a month of Sundays to process on my laptop in the field, but you'll see it when you see it, probably after I get home. Alright, let's move on. See you in the next video. Hope you had fun.